So I know how to knit, but I would like to learn how to crochet. No, I have no chains on the hook when I do that. I kind of didn't pay attention. I'm putting it in the wrong hole. Look at that. This is where it's going to get really confusing for me and frustrating. Why do I want to learn how to crochet? Because it's a good skill to have, and with knitting, it can be a little cumbersome. You've got like the big long needles. Your project can get a little crazy. Crochet, the fact that it's just this, that's always been appealing to me. I did try to learn how. My mom tried to teach me many years ago, long time ago, when I was like a teenager. And it's completely gone from me. I gave up after like an hour. And I think the reason I didn't like it, because it did feel just a little too flimsy. Like I was just doing like weird, like this pole motion and the knots and the loops. It just seems a little too loose compared to knitting, which feels slightly more structural, even though it is just another kind of arts and crafts thing. So I'm giving myself a week to officially learn how to crochet, and I've got some lofty goals. So my lofty goal is to I want to be able to knit those like crocheted, what are they called? The ragdoll things, crocheted. There's a name for them. There's a amigurumi. So like you'll see those kind of cool like crochet like inanimate objects, like a crochet hot dog or something, and they look really cool. I want to be able to do that. So by the end of the week, I'd like to be able to do that. I don't know how realistic that is. Otherwise, I'd like to just be able to do like a swatch or like, a basic pattern or something. I remember my mom was always working on like a zigzag blanket that was just like never ending. So I'd like to be able to do something like that eventually. Supplies wise, all I've got is this. It's the 6mm crochet hook. And then this is some yarn that goes with it. I just picked yarn, saw the size for the needle, and it is this, and I got that. And then I've got a notebook for taking important notes, because I'm gonna be watching YouTube videos. So first is, I'm gonna go to YouTube and search how to crochet. The funny thing is I actually don't even know how to spell crochet. Crow-shay. CROCHET. So first result is from 4 years ago, Bella Coco, How to Crochet for Absolute Beginners, episode 1, 7 minutes long. There's also another one that's from 8 years ago, Simply Daisy's got 3 million views. How to Crochet for Absolute Beginners, part 1. So let's just do the first one, see what happens. Whoa.
Hello, my name is Sarah Jane. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be
British.
the first video in learning how to crochet for absolute beginners, for double knit. And then also when you're looking at your yarn, have a look at the yarn label and it will tell you again, pinch in between your finger and thumb. Take the back loop and bring it, and we are ready to start our chain. You're going to wrap your yarn around the hook where we have created the tension. You then want to grab the yarn with your crochet hook and bring your crochet hook towards you and through the loop. That is a chain. So I'll show you that again. You want to go around the yarn and then grab the yarn and pull it through. So yarn over and pull through the loop. Yarn over and pull through the loop. So let's take a look at what we have done so far.
I've got a series of V's, but it just feels so, well, maybe that's why she wrapped the yarn around her pinky, because it does just feel like you're not in control of what's going on here. And it feels so like three-dimensional. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just feels like I'm in space. Like I feel like there's no like what direction am I supposed to hold everything in? She's pretty much holding it like this, pretty stable. So I guess I should just do that. But it's hard to, when you're hooking it through the loop, it's hard to not want to go all over the place. So, I feel like I've learned something, but I haven't done anything. So, this is way too tight. I think I'm gonna undo this and redo it because hers is a lot looser. That's satisfying. I actually don't know how she started. So you pull the slip knot on it, and then no. See, I'm thinking about knitting. I'm holding it like I'm trying to cast on. How did she? I forgot how she held her thing. Just like this, I think. Oh yeah, no, you hold the bottom stitch, and then go through here. Okay, and I want to keep this one loose. Okay, I'm happier with that one now. It's a little thicker and it's not as tight, and so you can see the V's a little better. And I'm assuming, I mean, I'll watch the next video now, but I'm assuming we'll do another row on this. I should have split my how to knit video into multiple episodes of like 7-minute videos. I don't know why I didn't do that.
We're going to start off by creating a slip knot. We went through this in the last video.
We're starting
so
from scratch again.
Feel free to go back to that if you want this in a little bit more detail, and pinch that in between your finger and thumb. So go ahead and yarn over and bring your hook through your chain.
She does that so fast. I need it in super slow-mo. I can't visualize what she's
11
doing.
For our foundation. So go ahead and yarn over and bring your hook through your chain. That's 1. Yarn over and pull through. 2.
The way she's holding it, it makes it
yarn over
so tight for me.
Pull through. 3. Remember, if you need any extra help with this, go back to the last video. So we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. We do not count this first chain on the hook. This is our first chain and this is our second chain. We're going to be working into the top.
What? Okay. This is where it's going to get really confusing for me and frustrating.
So go ahead and insert your hook into that top loop. You will look like you have 2 chains on the hook.
Yeah.
Yarn over and pull through, and then you will have 2 chains on the hook.
No, I've got no chains on the hook.
Pinch where this chain finishes, because
crap.
this will help. So go ahead and insert your hook into that top loop.
Yeah.
You will look like you have
I've
2
got
chains
2 in there
on
now.
the hook.
Yeah.
Yarn over and pull through, and then you will have 2 chains on the hook. Try not to pull too tight.
No, I have no chains on the hook when I do that. I'm putting it in the wrong. I'm putting it in the wrong hole, I think.
The second chain from the hook, we do not count.
I think I'm doing
on the hook.
I think I'm doing the first chain on the hook, even though I consider this loop to be the first chain. I think she's talking about the one that's closest to it. So I think I'll go into the one after it, and maybe it will do what she's showing me.
So go ahead and insert your hook into that top loop.
Okay.
You will look like you have 2 chains on the hook.
I've got that.
Yarn over and pull through, and then you will have 2 chains on the hook. Try not to pull too tight on your tension strand. Yarn over and pull through both of those loops on the hook, and that is a double crochet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're gonna go through again, through both of them. This is a dangerous, very precarious time right now. So here's what I have so far, and like, it doesn't look good. Maybe these ones are right here on the end, but by the end of it, I don't exactly know where I'm supposed to be hooking my needle. Do they call this a needle? I'm gonna watch this a few more times, and maybe a couple other videos, and until I can get a nice grasp on this first row. There's also a video on beginner-friendly crochet baby jellyfish tutorial. No, and then you can't see the rest of the title. No sewing required. They're playing that video, that music that everybody plays. And see, that's what I want to do. Maybe I could just learn how to do that. Okay, back to this. Here's what I have. My biggest problem is I'm getting the motions good now. Like, it feels like I understand how I'm supposed to move my hands, more or less. Don't really know where to hold everything, but I know where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. The problem I run into is I don't really know what to do when I reach the end of a row. Like with this one, I'm starting to form just like a triangle, like, because I think I keep losing stitches with every row, so it's just getting shorter, narrower and narrower, and it's gonna end up like a little triangle at the end. It's because the ends of these, there's no guide. Like, you cannot see where I'm supposed to put the hook in. I don't know where to start out my row, and I don't know where to end my row, but I know where to hook in the middle of my row. It is kind of fun once you get the feel of it. Compared to knitting, like, you've got knitting and purling, and you've got the wrong side and the right side. It is nice, like, knowing that there is no, like, wrong side, right side. I guess this is probably comparable to, like, the garter stitch, where you are just knitting on both sides. And so this is probably a beginner thing, because it certainly looks like a beginner thing. I'm gonna watch, I guess I'm gonna find another video, and see if somebody else has something else to say. So I think I'm gonna go. Thank you, Bella Coco. You've been very helpful. I think I'm gonna watch this next video for Simply Daisy. This is good. This has promise. So my questions so far with crochet that I need to figure out: how do I know where my row ends, and how do I know where my row begins, and where am I supposed to hook in those places? I also want to know, like, is there a way to make crocheting look nice? Like I know, like, surely there's different stitches. Like, you've got like the seed stitch in knitting, you've got the stockinette stitch, which is really nice, and it's like the basis for all fabrics. So what's the equivalent in the crochet world? I want to be able to do that. And then how to make shapes. That'll be the big thing later. That's a long ways off, but I'm happy with the progress I've made, which is nothing. I've been watching YouTube videos, TikTok videos put into Instagram Reels, compiled into YouTube videos of speed crochet people going really, really fast. And I'm not really intimidated because look at what I've done so far. This is everything I did last night. So I did single crochet here, and then I also watched some videos on the double crochet and kind of learned what that's all about. I still don't really know what it's all about, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's a bigger, looser fabric. I don't know. But I do still feel like I don't really know how it's working. Like with knitting, like I know, like, here's the V and the bars, the different bars that you pick up and how you can manipulate them. But with crochet, I don't have that sense yet. I still feel like I'm just kind of like being really all over the place with it and just kind of going off what I'm remembering, which I guess is fine, but I'd like to understand a little bit more of it. Goals for today, I'm gonna watch some tutorials on the chevron patterns. I'd like to see a lot of like crochet blankets that have that nice chevron pattern to them. So I wanna learn how to do that. And I think that will help me figure out how to like do shapes and stuff. Because ultimately I think that's what crochet is really good at. It lets you like make shapes. And I'll also probably learn a little bit about this mystical magic circle and what that's all about, because I know I'm gonna need to do that if I want to make amigurumi at the end of all this.
And 11. So we're now at the peak of the chevron, 3 of these stitches in the same space.
3 in the same space. What does that mean? 1,
2.
Okay, 1
and 3. We're then going to work our way back down.
A stitch is considered when you go in, grab it, and then you pull it through the 2. And that is 1 stitch. That's a stitch. That's what we're calling a stitch. Gosh, it's starting to do a thing. Look at that. When you want it to go one direction, you skip, and so it pulls it that way. And then to make it go back the other way, you stuff it full of stitches. Which I did. She had me do 3 that time. So trough, peak, and then trough and peak, but it doesn't really, I don't know it's not really going up, that one. This is amazing. Something wrong is happening here. I think it's these ends. She did say something about what you're supposed to do at the end, and I kind of didn't pay attention. I just chained an extra one, and then I just came back. But I think I'm supposed to, because this is the valley, I think I need to skip still, which would have curled it up more, because right now it's just like going straight down. So, I mean, this is cool though. It is really satisfying to look at, and it's actually really easy to like get a lot done. Like I can see why people crochet. And that was the moment I stopped crocheting. Just kidding, of course. That was the moment I just stopped giving a kind of running commentary, which I guess is a good sign that I was all in and stuck in the learning of it all. So the rest of that day I watched some more videos on chevron patterns and other types of crochet textures, but to be honest, a lot of it doesn't look so great. I'm not gonna lie. It's just lots of granny squares everywhere, which I guess is fine if that's what you want to do. So I closed out day 2 still without having learned the magic loop, but I had made some more of these Frankenstein experiments. You can tell me if they're bad. Actually, don't tell me if they're bad. And I started day 3 with fear and trepidation until I found this guy. Because then I was even more terrified because I had found my doppelganger twin. Who knew that there'd been a split in the universe, and all this time there's been this other me who was the king of crochet on YouTube. Or maybe I was just another him, or maybe we both just probably had glasses. Anyway, this guy, his name was Louis. He was great and taught me the magic loop or circle or whatever we're calling it. So the hard part is at the beginning and making that start nice and tight. But then once I got the hang of it, I was cruising right along, and I ended up making this thing. I don't know what this thing is. And then honestly, I kind of just stopped for a bit because it's summer and the weather is perfect. And why do I want to crochet or even knit for that matter in the middle of June anyway? But I was back for day 5 but only for a little bit because I was crocheting in the park, and you really just kind of can't crochet in the park. It's just not going to work, and you definitely cannot film yourself crocheting in the park either. Here's me trying to say something, but you can't hear me. I have no idea what I was trying to say. Day 6, completely unaccounted for, but that doesn't matter because day 7, well, that is today. And I think I can honestly say that I now know how to crochet. I've combined all the skills that I've learned into one, and I'm making a hot dog. So I already crocheted the actual hot dog itself. I used a really small crochet hook for this. This is 3.5 millimeters, and I'm using a small yarn for this. I stuffed it with just an old sock because recycle. I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to do the bun. I thought about doing something in the round for the bun as well, but I'm not quite that advanced to be able to make like 2 sections or something. So I've decided I've just crocheted this bit here, and I'm gonna like roll it up like this and then put the hot dog in it, and that's gonna be the hot dog in the bun. And then I even have ketchup to go on as well. So made my ketchup using the little, I don't know what you call this. I mean, it's a chevron, but I don't know what this technique is actually called. But anyways, that's gonna be the little ketchup that I'm gonna put on top, and it's gonna look like this. So all I have to do now is just, I've got a tapestry needle, and I'm just gonna weave it all together, hide all the bits, and I'm gonna be done with this. This is actually not too bad. I bet I could sell this on Etsy for like 20 bucks. If I had made it just like a centimeter shorter, I think it'd be a little cuter. Because right now it kind of just looks a little too much like I'm trying to be like a realistic hot dog. It doesn't have that cuteness factor of some amigurumi you'll see. I should put like googly eyes on it or something. I've found myself enjoying crochet more than I thought I would. I had a lot of reservations about it, but I can honestly say that I will be revisiting it. I don't know what kind of a project I would be doing with crochet besides stuff like this, because sweaters and hats I think look better with knitting, sorry to say. So I don't think I'll be changing the focus of my YouTube channel anytime soon, but I'm glad I did this. It was a good little experience in seeing how the other half live. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. As always, leave me a comment if you can crochet stuff better than this. Also, head on over to Amazon.com and type in The Disassembly of Doreen Durand by Ryan Collette, and buy yourself 10 copies, 20 copies, and then buy a couple more copies for your family and friends. It's my debut novel that's been out for a while now, but the good thing about writing a book is that there's no shelf life on promo. So leave it a review, like it, subscribe to it in book form, and I will see you in my next video.